Hello friends. Today we have a video from the Ukrainian Air Force featuring one of their fighter bombers, Sukhoi 27, from the 39th Tactical Aviation Brigade, flying peacefully through the clouds. Though developed in Soviet times, we must admit it's a beautifully designed plane. Best of all, it's painted in the Defender's colors. Speaking of air forces, yesterday I told you about the attack on the Taganrog Airfield and on the Beriev Scientific Aviation Complex. Hey, don't look at me like that. That's the name the Russians gave it. It's not a translation issue, but anyway, by analyzing the satellite photos of the damage caused by the attack, it was confirmed that a modified Ilyushin 76MD, coded as A-100 LL Premier, was also destroyed. SEP, we're discussing the only unit of the Horde's new airborne early warning aircraft meant to replace the A-50 Mainz DAI, of which Ukraine has destroyed or damaged at least 6 since the war began. The advanced Vega Premier active array radar had been removed from the aircraft before the raid. Still, Ivan, the aviator, loses an invaluable experimental aircraft representing the next generation of Russian airborne early warning planes. If we add to this the experimental airborne laser aircraft, which was also destroyed in the attack, we can conclude that this is the most significant blow to the advanced air units of the Horde since the downing of the 2 A-50s last year. We haven't seen videos of Z self-propelled artillery being destroyed in a while, so I wanted to share one from September 2024, when the Kryla unit of the Department of Active Actions of the General Directorate of Defense of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine began to stalk. An EMSTAS self-propelled howitzer was moving through a forest belt until it settled at the edge of the woods, most likely to start firing at Ukrainian positions. That's when a swarm of mosquitoes started harassing it. They made the invaders run for their lives while their vehicle burst into flames. In the end, they stop when they find some cover, probably to avoid being hit again. From the same period, now we see how an attack drone from the 501st Ukrainian Marine Infantry Battalion is stalking. It then destroys a BMD armored personnel carrier from the Horde's air assault forces. Apparently, it was loaded with ammunition for the front lines, which will now arrive by airmail. It's a shame these classics aren't seen as often now. Returning to the present, where the 414th Handburge Brigade prisoners are. They may no longer be the heavy vehicles or self-propelled buses of Ivan the Gunner, but rather the vehicles left over from a Mad Max movie remake, armed by Ivan the Scrapper. But since they're still parading the mushroom of invasion across Ukraine, they deserve all the attention and hospitality that a swarm of furious mosquitoes can give them. The poor Bukankas had to replace the BMPs by transporting orcs into the attack, and they've taken the worst of it. But what the hell is that? Straight out of the Mad Max studio? You might say it as a joke, but then Ivan comes along and shows you that he can always take his creativity even further. Now the birds have rivals because of the 5th Assault Brigade team are proving themselves to be true virtuosos of flight, addressing the need to demilitarize torture tanks, assault Ledas, ATVs, and ground drones of La Horda. In any case, they're not the only ones who get the attention of the mosquitoes, since they also dedicate part of their effort to delivering as quickly as possible. Happy welcome packages to each of the visitors to Moscovia who step onto their territory without being invited. The Signum Group operators from the 53rd Mechanized Brigade active on the Lyman front are running this ongoing welcome party. Searchers move through forests, buildings, and under camouflage nets, working day and night to ensure every orc quickly receives Putin's kiss. Meanwhile, in the settlement of Stepnohirsk, a group of Ukrainian scouts clear an orc nest from a building in the old-fashioned way. That is, through close-quarters combat, fast and violent. An invader tried to stop them by barricading himself in a room, but a couple of grenades ended his days as an illegal tourist in Ukraine as part of the wall decorations. On the technological front, on November 24, the Ukrainian company Ukrainian Armored announced the successful live-fire tests of its unmanned ground vehicle protector, equipped with the remote-controlled combat module, Tabria 12-7. By combining a truck-sized robotic chassis with a heavy machine gun turret, Ukraine is testing methods to deliver firepower while keeping frontline crews safe. The Protector is a heavy, unmanned ground vehicle designed to carry out logistics, evacuation, and direct fire support missions in high-risk areas. The platform can carry payloads of up to 700 kilograms and reach a maximum speed of 60 kilometers per hour. With a range of 500 kilometers, the operator can be 12 kilometers away, depending on the terrain and communication setup. Previous versions of the system were mainly presented as robotic mules for ammunition resupply, casualty evacuation, and engineering tasks. Now, the Tabria 12-7 remote weapon module occupies the cargo cover, transforming it into a mobile weapon system that delivers suppressive fire, protects routes, and supports infantry assaults. A Ukrainian Special Forces operator uses a Barrett M82 heavy sniper rifle to fire at a house where an infantry team has taken refuge of the invaders. It's logical they've taken refuge in the basement. The sniper decides to use Rofos Mark 211 multi-purpose ammunition, which combines high explosive incendiary capability and armor penetration. By setting the building on fire, he makes life inside unbearable for the orcs, forcing them out. At that moment, the rest of the defending team will be waiting for them outside. The Navy SEALs appear on podcasts and talk about calling in airstrikes on guys in pajamas. Real warriors do things like this. In summary, winter is approaching Ukraine and snow has begun falling in Lviv. While the cold is a threat to the population, it cannot be denied that it brings hope for a new year in peace. For those who want to see additional content, we invite you to subscribe to our Patreon, where for just $1 you'll have access to content from the war uncensored. All right then, do you think the mobility of the Protector is superior to that of tracked drones? Leave your answer in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.